What's up, guys? Austin here from Campus to Canton. Another early signing day update here for you guys. We are keeping you informed of everything that is happening here today. All of the big names deciding what school they're going to go to and impacting potentially our Campus to Canton roster. So let's dive into the next player on the list here, guys. Nicholas Singleton, running back, who today has officially signed for Penn State, been committed there for a while. But putting his name on that dotted line. A little bit about Nicholas Singleton, guys, 6 foot, 210, plays his high school football in the state of Pennsylvania, pretty close to Penn State's campus there. So that was always kind of assumed that he would end up there. Ranking wise, amongst the major recruiting services, the 24/7 composite has him as the RB4 overall. 24/7 Sports has him as their RB1, so the top back in the class. On3 also has him as their top back. ESPN has him at number 4 and Rivals at number 5. So a top 5 back across the board. One of only a couple of players here this season that kind of gets that treatment. So he is a high-end prospect there, and Penn State is hoping for big things there from him. So what kind of a player is Nicholas Singleton? Well, I can tell you guys just from watching sophomore, junior, and now his senior seasons that he is probably going to end up being the best athlete in this class, at least size adjusted. I have not seen the final Spark scores yet, but this kid is just an insane athlete. One of the best that I can remember seeing at that running back position. I think is going to make people think a little more about a certain uber athletic running back that came out of Penn State in the not so distant past, who now plays for the New York Giants. He's going to get that level of praise because of how he moves at 6 foot, 210 pounds. Has a verified 4.59 40. That's from his sophomore year of high school when he was also 6 foot, 210. He really hasn't changed much size wise. You got to figure that's probably a bit quicker now. He also has a verified 36-inch vertical, which is crazy. He's got a 10.89 100. I mean, the kid is just a beastly athlete, and we know what that Penn State strength and conditioning program does for every position there, but especially the running backs. So that is truly an exciting thing to think about there with him. Beyond just his size and his athletic prowess, though, the way he moves in space is just silky, silky smooth. He's sudden, but he's also, smooth. He's physical, but he has some wiggle to him. He's very, very well rounded, and just kind of has great body control, knows how to move around. He's when I'm saying that he's physical, he shakes arm tackles with ease. You cannot bring him down with just your arms. He will run through you. He'll run through you even if you're trying to tackle him with your whole body. He's just an amazing, amazing, amazing athlete. I cannot stop saying that about him, but it's true, and it colors everything about this kid. I mean, just the violence he runs with. He's going to be a great, great college running back. And I think, barring no injuries and a little bit of development, that I think we can project him pretty well to the NFL. There are some very minor concerns about Nicholas Singleton, guys. None that I would get too caught up with, but I think it's why he's not a consensus number one across all of these different platforms. And it's because the level of competition that he plays against, coupled with the offense that his high school ran, it was very much kind of an old school, like triple option type offense where he was getting tosses out in space almost every single touch. So we have no idea exactly how he does with solving problems behind the line of scrimmage, in traffic between the tackles. Those are things that we think that he can probably do at a pretty decent level just based on how good of a mover he is, how physical he is, and all of those kinds of things, but we don't know for sure. So it might temper expectations early. Maybe he doesn't start day one or even year one. But there's potential there for him to get on the field there as a true freshman. And why I say that, you look at the other backs that are on the roster already there for Penn State. They've got Kayvon Lee and Noah Kane. They're both approaching their third year at Penn State. Very similar type backs. Both of them are bigger as well, over 6 feet, over 200 pounds, kind of bigger, physical. Neither are the athlete that he is, though. And I don't think either of them have ever really taken over that backfield. Last year they each played over 10 games. They each, Kayvon Lee averaged about 4.8 yards per carry, only had 2 touchdowns. Noah Kane, a similar amount of carries, but only averaged about 3 yards per carry. I mean, none of these guys have ever really lived up to the expectations that maybe we thought they had coming into college. And beyond those two, you've also got Devin Ford, who I believe will still be on the roster next year. There is not really much of an overlap with his skill set. He's a little more of a third down guy, so probably not going to be bumping into Singleton in terms of opportunity there. Also have Keziah Holmes, who I believe was also in that same class with Kane and Lee. Has never really lived up to billing there. I had a handful of carries last year, nothing too serious. So it's a roster in flux, I want to say, especially on offense there. Losing Jahan Dotson, Sean Clifford will return at quarterback. They've got Drew Aller coming in, who we really, really like there at quarterback as well to compete. Maybe gets on the field later in the year, but probably not. But I mean, Sean Clifford is not very good. That led Penn State to average 35 rushing attempts per game last year. If it's Sean Clifford there, expect some of the same through 2022. If for some reason Clifford gets hurt or is usurped by a true freshman, expect them to run at least 35 times a game to try to give him a little bit of help. So either way, it's a team that is in need of something at the running back position that they don't really have there yet. Can Nicholas Singleton provide that? I think that he can. Does he do it right away? Probably not, but I think there is certainly potential for him to be the starter by year's end because he is just flat out the best athlete there. He's flat out the best running back there, and flat out probably the best offensive weapon that they have there. So guys, Nicholas Singleton in a freshman supplemental draft is going to be a first-round draft pick this year. In startups, probably going to be a top 36 pick. This is the kind of kid that you draft this year, and if he flashes at all, he is going to be impossible to buy. So if you really want Singleton, go out, take him. I would have no problem taking him amongst that top tier of running backs, the Branson Robinsons, who's going to Georgia there, Jadon Blue going to Texas, and some other backs in there as well. He is certainly in that tier. Go get Nicholas Singleton, guys. I'm thinking that you probably will not be disappointed.